This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
It's time for the show that brings the magic right to your speakers. Ears Up!
What's going on, everybody? Ears Up podcast. We are here today to talk about some fun stuff, which is very rare for the show, I know. But we have Ryan here. We have RGH from Puny Pod. And he's going to be talking to us today about the history of the Marvel Universe within the Disney parks, which I think is a very important thing to chronicle. Ryan, welcome to the show. Okay, well, that'll be cool. And then, what's his name over there? Erik. Erik
What?
with a K. Has you got a window for us, don't you?
Actually, this is a Disney legend who doesn't have a window.
Whoa,
Right?
dude. I love it. You're
Yeah.
flipping the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
That's cool, man. Looking forward to that. And then we have one bit of Disney news to cover, and then that's kind of it. So I don't know if it'll be a short show or whatever. It doesn't really bother me. I don't really care because, let me tell you what, it's Halloween season. It's Halloween season right now, okay? It's September 4th, right? We don't have much Halloween up, really, but, we have all the boxes out. I got all my Halloween shirts out of storage. So I'm wearing one of my Halloween shirts. That's my favorite time, is where I can basically have brand new T-shirts to wear, or button ups and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. I do have a story I want to share with you guys. I think I know I talked about it in the Discord, but it's in case anybody ever wonders how broken my brain is, I would like to explain something to you. Okay, so it's been super duper hot out here, right? It's 80.1 degrees in the studio. Brought to you by the 21st Amendment. The other night I had, we had the windows open because at night it gets to, mid 70s. And so you got to cool the house down somehow. And I woke up to this sound. It was 4 a.m. of what sounded like someone dragging a crate, a wooden crate across concrete. And I'm like, what is that noise? Our neighbors are weird. They make a lot of weird sounds. And it's very annoying. Our neighbors right here, but I share this wall with, well, not share the wall, but it's the side of the house. Their garbage is on the side of the house, and they installed a metal gate basically to their backyard instead of just a wooden one. And every time it shuts, it clang and it reverberates, And they'll do that at 6 a.m, 7 a.m, and with the window open, it wakes everybody up. It's a pain in the ass, but they're nice people, so I don't say anything. Because what am I going to do, right? So I figured it was something with that. There's someone doing some nonsense. It was too early. I was pissed off about it. What are you guys doing? It's go to bed. It's 4 a.m. You should be asleep. So, and then I'm kind of laying there, and then I see this little flash of light through the window. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It was almost like someone walked by an outdoor light. It's real quick. That was it. I'm like, huh. And instantly, forever, I don't know why. I think ever since I've seen Red Dawn, I always think there's a flash of light coming from the direction of San Francisco. We're getting hit.
Oh, no.
And then so I'm like, okay, that's ridiculous, dude. Stop. So I'm trying to fall asleep again. I hear that sound again, but it's louder. And I'm like, what the frig is going on? And I see get up and I look out there and I can't see anything. And then I see another flash on the wall. I'm like, okay, someone got us into a war. Now we're getting, that's it. We're getting nuked. Missiles are going to be flying. That's what the flash is. It's just these little bombs going off. I watch too much TV. Watching Silo, I can't do it. So I'm like, okay, chill out. Just don't be ridiculous, dude. You're insane. So I'm standing up and I'm in the where am I? No, I'm actually just looking out the bedroom window, which kind of like faces a bunch of our neighbors. And I hear the loudest explosion I have ever heard in my entire life.
No.
It was, spoiler alert, thunder. I didn't know this. I've never heard a thunder clap in my life, because out here it's always rolling thunder. It's like low,
the rumble,
like the beginning of Riders on the Storm by the Doors, like that, like just like the low, that's it. That is it. This thing was an explosion of sound directly over the city we live in, over the town, to the point where it set off car alarms. I had no idea this happened. Instantly, I go, missile. I was right. We got the missiles. We're in now. And I'm like, what the? And Taryn gets out of bed and runs. She goes, oh, and she cusses. She says the S word, you guys. Dirty potty mouth. Yeah, I know. I gave her a finger wag afterwards. She runs into Alice's bedroom to go get her. And that even heightened it even more. And I'm like, 60% of me was ready to put the family in the car and go. Because I didn't know what was going on. It was not weather related in my mind. It was it was literally an explosion, a blow up. It blowed up. Something got bloated up. So I'm like looking at the news and I'm looking outside, and there's like, our neighbors like getting in their car casually. I'm like, maybe they know, because he's a cop, right? I'm like, maybe they know what's going on, what's happening. But like nothing else is going on. I look at refreshing the news. There's nothing. And I look at the weather icon, and it like there's like clouds and like raining. I'm like, that's not raining. Instantly starts raining, like big fat drops. And here's where it gets even weirder. I go and close the window because I'm going like, what is this? What is this nuclear? What is this, like nuclear rain? Is this like fallout? Is this gas? Is this a nerve toxin? Are they trying to attack us and destroy our brains with the rain? Freak me. Anyway, turns out
it's the thing they don't tell you about. Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out we had dry lightning and thunderstorms that night, and I had no idea until I looked up the weather, and it was like all the weather places we're talking about was like, expect lightning and thunder and dry lightning. And, then Alice had to come in our bed, and we stayed up for a long time talking about the weather, and she handled better than I did. And I was like, I felt so ridiculous, but also like really cool. Because I'm like, I'm planning ahead. I feel like I'm about, if I had an extra $30,000, I would be one of those preppers, where it's like you buy powdered MRIs for, 25 million years, but I don't. So I'm not. So when the wave hits, when the blast comes, that's it, man. Our pantries are dry. I don't know. That was it. That's my story.
Well,
get on that surfboard and ride it.
Yeah, dude. That's my story, man. That's how I spent my Monday night / Tuesday morning, is fearing the nuclear apocalypse, because that's basically kind of where we're at in the world these days, I think.
I don't think it's completely uncalled for to be thinking of that as one of the solutions for whatever problem is facing you. But yeah, it's crazy when you have a really close lightning strike. Yeah. When it hits at the same time that you hear the sound, you're like, oh no, it's here.
Dude. I try to replay it in my head. Because I felt it in my bones. I've never, the loudest thunder I've ever heard, like, rattled my single pane windows like 30 years ago. That was it. This was like, it couldn't have been more than half a mile away. It was just right there, low cloud. Oh my God, it was incredible. Anyway, and then Alice kept asking me questions about it. I'm like, I literally have told you everything I know about thunder, where the cold air and the warm air hits. That's it. I don't know. She goes, but where is it? I don't know, dude. Ask your teacher, man. She goes, I bet you that lightning, I bet that it can go from the ground up and it can hit the stars, because the clouds are in space. And if it comes from the clouds, I'm like, okay, let's rewind this. We have a thing called an atmosphere. And then she's like, oh.
Let's start over.
Yeah. But those are the kind of
what
things.
They always taught us out here was you count the seconds between when you see the lightning and when you hear the thunder. and that's how far away that in miles is how far away the.
I think that's not true. I think because I looked this up one time.
Yeah,
I don't think it's very. I mean, it's not accurate, but I don't think it's true. And also, this was just thunderstorm.
Yeah.
There was lightning, but it wasn't like I don't know. It was weird.
It wasn't like striking.
Scared me, dude. Oh my god, I scared myself. I freaked myself out because I have anxiety and I'm a freak. I'm a mess. But you know what's not a mess?
No, that makes sense.
Planning your next vacation with Concy Ears. That is not a mess. That will not give you anxiety. Go to ConcyEars.com. That's ears with an S because they're normal people, unlike yours truly. And they will help you plan your Disney vacation. And in fact, Taryn and I are working with our friends at Concy Ears on planning a vacation back to go back into the parks in January, as a matter of fact. Woo. Late January. And, I'm like, whatever, Taryn, you plan it. Plan it, I'll go. I'll be there. I don't care. Whatever. What's going on? So that'll be fun.
You guys got to get one of the garden rooms in Disneyland Hotel.
Not the duo, but...
No, not the duo, but they have like 10 foot by 10. I just stayed in one last week. It's got like a 10 foot by 10 foot patio, and it's exterior entry instead of interior entry. And it's pretty sweet.
But those patios looked great.
Yeah, I want to stay in that. I'll tell Taryn about it. Because she wants to go back to the DVC tower in the rooms that we stayed in. Because it's like a known factor. Hopefully we can get a balcony for the thing, but whatever.
The garden rooms are, so you remember the Steamboat Willie pool that's right there at the DVC tower?
No.
They're basically around the corner a little bit.
Yeah,
They're in the back of that pool.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. Those are the ones. Yes, right. Those are the ones that we would like to stay at. But I think that you can even get them for DVC, like if you have DVC points. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You can get them with DVC, but you can get them also as a normal.
Okay, as a normie.
A normie.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, check them out. ConcyEars.com, everybody. All right, why don't we get into it? What should we do first? Eric, why don't you tell us your woman without a window story, huh?
My windowless woman, Dorothea Redmond. So without windows. Dorothea Redmond is one of the early designers of Disneyland. Basically, wave 2. Disneyland is open, things have happened, Dorothea comes in and shakes it all up. This is a woman who started at Disneyland in 1964 at the age of 54.
Wow. That's older than me.
There we go.
I have hope, you
Older
guys.
than all of us.
Yeah, I have hope.
Ryan ages, he's got Benjamin Button problems, so he's getting younger.
That's right. Eventually, him and Teddy will look
it.
exactly the same age.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. But yeah, so she started out her career working in film. Dorothea was born in 1910 in L.A., so she went to the USC School of Architecture, somehow ended up working in film for producer David O. Selznick.
That's like the Steven Spielberg of today or something. I don't know, man.
Absolutely, yeah. She did a lot of design work for Hitchcock. She really kind of like synced up with Hitchcock and his design style. Mm-hmm. So what she was doing, she worked on these boring Academy Award winning films like Gone with the Wind and Rebecca, and she worked for RKO. She worked for Universal Studios, Paramount. She worked on films with Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, Charlie Chaplin. She was the set designer, basically. So she came in and did in watercolor set paintings. And the set designers, the builders would go, got it. And they'd put it together, they'd build it, and that was the design of the film. So she created these tonal masterpieces where everything was about lighting and dramatic shadows, and set up all of these ideas for people like Hitchcock, who established that kind of that moody tone of their own. She was behind all of that.
Nice.
Her son described how hard a time she had in Hollywood because she was the first woman to work in set design for a Hollywood studio. The first. And all the dudes said, what's a woman doing here? Blah, blah, blah. Her son said she never took crap from anybody. She knew that she was the best one in the room. And that gave her the confidence to do all of this.
Sounds like a DEI hire to me, Eric, getting woke in Hollywood, and here we are. Now we have women directors. Could you believe that?
Oh, man. No, I can't believe that.
Well, it's real. And I'm mad at it.
Well, interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to do my own research.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, please.
That's all right. So she spent 17 years in Hollywood, but got kind of sick of the grind. She had gotten her accolades. She had won over the studios. She had worked for all of the biggest people there. But she was kind of tired of just the schedule. She wanted to do something that was better for her children.
Yeah.
Better time-wise. So she went and worked in architecture and teaching architecture with William Pereira. William Pereira designed the Disneyland Hotel and the Anaheim Hojo. So major 50s vibes kind of guy. And she didn't help with those, but that's kind of his thing. He did so many different projects throughout the years. So she was with his firm when they did the Space Needle in Seattle.
Oh, cool.
When they she helped design LAX. She helped design the theme building. You know, the theme building, the one that looks like a weird spider that used to be a cool restaurant that isn't anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like modernist architecture, but she liked the idea of working on this big spider thing because it felt more organic to her.
Love it.
I could see that.
Right. And still throughout it all, she's doing all of this she's just sitting down and coming up with stuff out of her head and painting it, and people would say, yeah, I can build that. And one of the Imagineers, Tom Gillian, that she worked with later on in her career, wrote an interesting article about her where he said the reason she was so easy to work with, the reason Disney eventually loved her, is because she was a watercolor artist, which is very rare for that type of work. You want a set designer to be doing things very precisely and saying, this is what I want you to build. This is the thing I've created. But in watercolors, you have to be careful about how you do things. So she was very skilled at capturing light and capturing darkness in her paintings and giving the impression of detail without dictating that detail. So builders loved working with her once they got things going, once they got a sense of what she was doing. So when you look at her paintings, from far away, you can see detail, but when you get up close, it's only suggestions. So someone has to interpret that, and a good set builder is going to look at that and say, I can do something with this. I can make this detailed. I can make this real.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like a cop-out to me, Eric. Like, I just generally, yeah, sure, it's fine. I don't have to do detail. I'll let you interpret what I'm saying.
Oh, of course.
It's like, oh, well, Dorothea said that. Well, I didn't say that. I didn't put that in my image. Here, look at the image here. I didn't put that in there. They interpreted it that way. I'm not wrong. That person is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, the blame game. Well, that feels like a more modern thing.
Yeah, that's something that I would do for sure.
But yeah, she got this reputation, and everywhere she went, she got fans. People liked working with her. People respected her. And so after a while, she decided to get into this Disneyland proposition. So like I mentioned, in 1964, at the age of 54, she joined up with Disney and started doing basically set design for them. We know how much of the park was built on this idea that they're recreating the movies in a kind of physical way. Entering on the red carpet and seeing the castle and being introduced to things slowly and giving people a more immersive experience. So she came in, and her first assignment was working with John Hench to redesign the Red Wagon Inn. That is now the Plaza Inn. So the Red Wagon Inn was basically a shack. For the first few years, it was Swift's Red Wagon Inn. They served potted meats and all sorts of gross 50s stuff. And you've all been to the Plaza Inn. It's beautiful.
I've never
it's
been.
Lavish. Oh, really?
Yeah, I still haven't been.
You still haven't
I
been?
keep forgetting about it. I never remember it because I'm not used to going like, oh, well, you need to make a resi before you go. I've just never done it. No, for no reason. I've just never done it.
I've only done breakfast there. I haven't done the chicken. So I will admit to that. I've never done the chicken, right. the fried chicken everybody loves. She didn't design the chicken.
Well, that's too bad. That goes in the minus column for her.
Right.
Her, yeah.
Whoops. Sorry.
She just designed a vague beige area that would be chicken.
Yeah, she said chicken, but it leave it up to interpretation whether or not if it's breaded and fried.
She painted a question mark next to it.
That's right.
But that was one of her first things there. And again, the builders, these people who are building literal buildings now, well, I guess they were when she was doing architecture, but these Disneyland folks are saying, we love working with her. We want to do more. So she provided the concept art for most of New Orleans Square. This includes the Blue Bayou, the Haunted Mansion exterior, which she says she based a lot on her work with Alfred Hitchcock, the way she designed the exterior of the building and the shadows. And
I can definitely see that. I mean, it does look Hitchcockian.
Yeah, it's exaggerated, it's tall, it's elegant, but it's still a little spooky.
Same,
so
honestly.
Yeah. And, well, there you go.
Yeah.
But she also got to design the Royal Suite and Club 33, the original Club 33 on the interiors, because they're all being built at the same time. Now, the Royal Suite was abandoned for quite some time, 11 years. That was going to be Walt's second apartment, his family apartment instead of the tiny place above the firehouse. He wanted a real place where he could entertain guests. Club 33, right next door, that was also to entertain guests. They ended up finishing that one, neither of which were finished before Walt passed. So this is in 1966 when she is going through all of this. Now, Emile Curie is credited with Club 33. Dorothea created the concept of the balconies and the trophy room. So she did these kind of tonal pieces on the inside, and it wasn't always credited properly for a long time.
Yeah, I think a lot of those, at those times, the 50s, 60s, maybe even leaning into the 70s, I think it was a lot of collaborative stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think you get the first couple passes at it, it gets lost in the shuffle, I think.
Right.
And let me tell you, that trophy room, we got the distinct pleasure of going to Club 33 before it was redone. Woo, man. Mm-hmm. Talk about awesome and cool and, stylized, but also, outdated, but that was part of it. Looked great. It was awesome. I was so disappointed that they gutted it and made it look French. It's so dumb now.
Yeah, and I wish I could have seen it before. I've heard those episodes, and I've been there. I've been there myself now, and it's cool. But I always wonder, what was it like?
Better. A lot of wood paneling and darkness, and that's what you want.
I love dark wood paneling.
That's right. No one likes Swiss coffee.
Well,
designer ever.
Yes, every designer ever now. Yeah, absolutely. But still.
So going back to the Royal Suite, Dorothea went with Walt on those trips to New Orleans, where you've probably heard he went to New Orleans. He was looking for furniture. He bought that elevator from New Orleans, from an old hotel.
Yeah.
She was with him on those trips, finding furniture and finding ideas for style. She designed the Royal Club's sitting room and the Blue Room. She painted them in detail, complete with hardwood floors, dining areas, chandeliers. She created the interior of this place that no one saw for so long. And unfortunately, Walt never saw it done either. However, years later, when the royal suite became the Disney Gallery, a lot of her art was kind of permanently featured in there, even though they rotated who. Here's a John Hench exhibit. Here's a Joe Rohde exhibit. Here's a Tony Baxter. Her stuff was there permanently because her paintings inspired the place. She went on to design the Magic Kingdom's Liberty Tree Tavern and the Crystal Palace. She painted the mosaic murals inside Cinderella Castle as watercolors that were translated into mosaic. Did you actually go inside the castle and see the mosaics when you were there?
At Disney World?
At Disney World.
Yeah, the castle wasn't open.
Oh, okay. It's not always open these days where you can just walk right through it. Ryan, have you seen them?
I have. They're really cool.
Truly astounding. And yeah, they had a really cool... was he German or Italian? I can't remember. European guy who actually designed the mosaic portion, but she painted the entire thing. She designed the entire structure.
I bet Italian. Italians love mosaic art because the Greeks taught them how to do it.
Oh, of course.
That's why.
Right. So it was, she's done all of these massive works, and she's so unsung because she didn't do the work. She did the background work. She said, this is what it should look like. And it wasn't even like Walt saying, I want it to be, here, make it look like the Matterhorn. She would have painted the Matterhorn and said, make it look like that. This is what she did. She inspired all of this work. So the Disney archivists and Imagineers described her work as essential to the parks because, again, they could make whatever she painted. She made things so realistic and so accessible. She retired in 1974. So she wasn't even with... Yeah, just 10 years with the company.
Wow.
But 17 years in film, 10 years in architecture, and 10 years with Disney. That's a pretty great career.
Yeah, that's a long career.
Yeah, and she lived until 2009. She was 98 years old when she passed. She was named a Disney legend posthumously. So that's when, instead of getting a window, instead of getting a fancy pin, you get a plaque at Disney headquarters in Burbank.
Very
you get a statue. Well, somebody got a statue, but she really contributed so much in only 10 years. She also got awards at the art center that she taught at in Hollywood for so long as well. And yeah, she's just one of these unsung heroines, who helped design the parks. One of the books that I read, there's a lot of stuff out there because she's such a big figure. But oh no, I didn't write down the name of the book. Hang on.
No. Oh man.
Oh no.
Here we go. More work for Jason.
Oh.
What are you looking for, honey? Let me help you.
It is a... Oh, gosh.
Let me help you. What are you looking for, honey?
It is a book about the women of Disneyland.
Hot girls at Disneyland. Disneyland vacation outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Cute
yeah,
Disney.
You might be looking at different accounts.
I'm sorry. Women of Walt Disney Imagineering. No?
The women who made early Disneyland?
Women of Disneyland book?
I think that's it, Ryan.
The women who made early
sec.
Disneyland. Early women of Disneyland.
Yes.
All right. I tell you what. It doesn't matter anymore.
Sure it does.
No, it doesn't.
Does.
No, it doesn't. It's
there
fine. There's a book. There's a book somewhere everyone should look at.
There's a book. It's expensive, even in Kindle form.
Okay.
It's out of print.
Oh, man.
And I got tons of details from her about this, or about her from this. And there are multiple sites because, again, she's a Disney legend. So she had a lot of people writing about her after she did her things.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, Dorothea Redmond, really cool person, who starts a career at Disneyland this late, other than all of the old admirals that Walt hired to build the park.
Yeah. Very cool. I'm choking on my own self. Very cool, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, whenever we watch kind of old Hitchcock movies or something, you would look out for her name, dude.
There we go.
These old movies. Now you tie
She wasn't
in.
credited. Are you kidding me?
She wasn't really? Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I like watching. It's funny because like on Buena Vista Boys, we pop in and out sometimes of credits and seeing different Disney legends. Like Ub Iwerks was in the movie that Matt and I just recorded, which was Toby Tyler or 10 Weeks with a Circus, and
the circus. Yeah.
Ub did what did he do? Some title effects, I think, or something like that. Like he's done a lot, so that's pretty interesting. 20, 30 years after designing the Mickey Mouse, he's working on Toby Tyler. It's just like, okay, little Kevin Cochran being a nerd somewhere. So that is pretty fun to tie these two things together, these two sides of the entertainment business. All right, very good, Eric. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
I mean, it was perfect except for the part where you didn't have the book. So I'm 7 out of 10.
I wrote, please read this book. It's amazing. I didn't name the freaking book.
Yeah, man, it's fine. Women of Walt Disney Imagineering, I'm sure. That's a good book. Just leave it at that. Actually, you can read about it in Music Mayhem and the Mouse by Staniel Freeze. Even though it's not Staniel. All right, Ryan, why don't we get into Marvel, huh? What do you think of that? The Marvel that is your brain.
The Marvel that is my brain. So I want to set the scene a little bit, and I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. Well, I'm going to skip. There was like some meet and greets at Great America in 1977, but I'm not going to go in great detail on those.
No, why not?
I'm going to go. We're going to start in 1994.
Okay.
The comic book collecting bubble had just burst. 2/3 of all comic book shops had closed in the U.S. The MLB is on strike, which makes Marvel's recent acquisition of the bubblegum and baseball card company Fleer an absolute albatross because you can't get baseball cards out of striking players. Additionally, Disney's already making an impact on Marvel this early. Disney was performing poorly at the box office, which also means that the sticker company that Marvel had just picked up, Panini, was doing really poorly because Disney was supposed to be their big license. So Marvel's just striking out everywhere. Comic books are crashing, their acquisitions aren't working, but their heroes are still wildly popular. So what should they do? Well, around the same time, over in Orlando, Universal is working on a brand new theme park, a second gate that would become Islands of Adventure. Their plan? A land called Cartoon World featuring DC Comics heroes.
Cartoon World.
That's kind of a weird, cartoon is so all-encompassing, and then to make the cartoon about, comic book characters, I don't know, I'm not connecting the dots there, but,
Yeah, cartoon to me means animation, right? Or animation.
Looney
And I
Tunes.
think they still have Toon World. They have Toon World where they have Popeye and stuff. But yeah. So unfortunately this falls through because Time Warner swoops in. They buy Six Flags, which had the rights to DC in theme parks. And now Universal is locked out from using DC, so they're left with an empty land that's set to be themed around comic book heroes, but they don't have any comic book heroes to put there.
Cool.
So what do? They turn to the other big comic book name, Marvel. Universal already had a working relationship with Marvel. They had worked on Howard the Duck in the 80s, which is a Marvel property. They were in talks.
We all
about
love it.
And they were in talks about the Hulk film rights, which eventually would produce 2 Hulk movies done by Universal. So by March 22nd, 1994, a deal was struck. Universal gets the rights to build attractions, shops, and restaurants themed to Marvel. The contract is perpetual as long as they keep using the characters, paying for them, and don't mishandle the property.
It's a good deal.
Otherwise, they get to use it. Yeah, incredible deal. Construction kicks off in 1997, and on May 28th, 1999, Marvel Superhero Island opens with the rest of the park. The lineup includes The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, a 3D motion-based ride. Think classic Universal ride, right? Tracks and screens. Incredible Hulk roller coaster, high-speed launch coaster. Doctor Doom's Fear Fall, which is like a tower drop ride in reverse. Shoots you up instead of drops you down. And in 2000, they added Storm Force Accelatron, easy for me to say, which is a teacup-style ride based around the X-Men.
That sounds very silly.
It is.
That sounds like someone's pet project, and it just didn't come in on budget or on time. And like, what do we have that we can just skin? What do we got? And like, well, we have this teacup ride that we ordered from the manufacturer, but we don't. Perfect. It's Stormfront, whatever the hell it is. Just do it.
And they all have narrative stories. Like
Right.
the teacups are supposed to be charging up the Accelatron that's going to beat Magneto or something.
Isn't there a script like, you've beaten Magneto, get out of the cups?
God, dude. I love that so much.
Pretty great. So then you throw in a Fantastic Four and an Avengers-themed restaurant, a Villains-themed arcade. Even in 2002, they got a Halloween Horror Nights Scare Zone based around the Maximum Carnage comic book run. And you've got a pretty solid Marvel Comics land.
Yeah.
2 years after its opening, the scope. So for 2 years they had full exclusivity. No one else in the U.S. could build anything Marvel. After 2 years, any character families that were in use at Universal became exclusive to Universal. So what this means is anything related to Spider-Man is exclusive to Universal. Anything related to the Hulk or the Avengers is exclusive to Universal. Fantastic Four, X-Men, basically.
So everything good.
Your big hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This exclusivity is only east of the Mississippi River. I tried as hard as I could to figure out why they put that rule in there, because it seems so arbitrary to me.
Right.
And no one seems to know.
Yeah, it was probably, I'm guessing it's just back when, like, okay, most people who go to this park live east of the Mississippi, so we don't want to, like, take any, ticket sales away from Universal in Florida in case there's, like, a place in New York or whatever that opens that would be in competition. It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, it seems like maybe something where when they were trying to get the perpetual nature of it to stick in, they were like, okay, well, we'll give you that for half of the U.S. or something. We don't want to give the whole US.
Something like that. Also, east of the Mississippi sounds just old school. It sounds like someone who was 64,
Totally
about to get out the door. Like, well, I don't know, the east of the Mississippi, because I can't say Mason-Dixon line because that's the wrong latitude. Like, it just seems very, I don't know, Louisiana territory kind of for me, man.
It is. And some other weird little caveats that are in this agreement. Universal has full exclusive in the U.S., full exclusive rights to the word Marvel in theme parks. So that is why it can't be Marvel Land. That is why the shop in Florida is called Superhero HQ. It's not called Marvel Store or something like that.
It's the Summer of Heroes.
Exactly. Exactly. They also wrote in a weird little caveat that says specifically simulator rides cannot be developed by anyone else within 60 miles of a Universal park.
Huh.
Which is a really bizarre little caveat. And maybe it's going to play into what this Avengers ride is going to be that they're building in Disneyland.
That is very strange. That I can reverse engineer just about any idea and figure out a reason why. That's just I like doing that. This I have no idea. Within 60 miles, that's insane.
It feels very directed at Disney.
It's the only. I mean, they're the only competition.
Yeah.
They're the only people that could probably afford the licensing to even do it, right?
Yeah.
Well, and you think about Universal really does a lot of simulator style rides, so I think that was kind of like we want to carve this out as our niche.
Yeah, like
right? So even
like
if somebody else does Marvel,
simulating a theme park.
Sick burn.
You're welcome.
So the deal was ironclad. Universal's use of Marvel characters effectively blocked Disney from bringing most of its heroes to Walt Disney World. Right? That is really the net of that. Although Universal had this exclusivity in the U.S., several international parks would kind of upstart in the 2000s. You had Marvel Adventure City in Niagara Falls, Canada, which operated from 2003 to 2008 as an indoor Marvel theme park. Wonderland Sydney down in Australia, which when it lost its Hanna-Barbera license, it replaced it with Marvel.
Ooh.
But it only lasted for about 2 years, from 2002 to 2004. And IMG Worlds of Adventure in Dubai, which opened in 2016 and still operates today. So that one is still around. There were also Spider-Man live shows that were developed all over the place, including one in Universal Hollywood that I have to highlight. There are not videos of this, but there are guest accounts. And the guest accounts are that Spider-Man and Green Goblin fought while performing covers of music like Another One Bites the Dust. And Mary Jane distracted Green Goblin mid-fight with her own performance of Lady Marmalade.
Oh, God, dude.
And was attacked by muggers who sang She Bangs.
Oh, Lord.
Ike Perlmutter was all over this one.
Yes.
This is my favorite one. That's why I'm still
That
involved.
sounds horrible. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
It is one of this era of Marvel licensing was wild. There was just
They needed money, so they're like, yes, you want to give us money to actually abuse people that work for you? Sure, dude. Have fun. Now it would be like espresso.
Right. Yeah. So then we get to August 31st, 2009. Disney purchases Marvel for $4 billion with a B dollars. In the press release, Bob Iger, then CEO, specifically called out that Disney would honor and continue to uphold all pre-existing licensing agreements and explicitly named the Universal Parks Agreement as one that they would uphold. So now owned by Disney, Marvel would start to creep into the Disney parks a little bit, of course, but it took them a little bit. They started in 2013. The first quote-unquote attractions to open were actually part of Disneyland's Innoventions. The first few that opened were Stark Industries Presents Iron Man Tech, which was a museum exhibit of Iron Man armor, and Thor Treasures of Asgard, which was a museum exhibit dedicated to Thor. Those opened in 2013 in Innoventions.
So here, let me interrupt you real fast, right? So the reason that they could open these things in Disneyland is because it's that east of the Mississippi clause.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yep. Yeah, because west of the Mississippi, it's the Wild West.
Sure,
basically, dude. Anybody that Marvel wants to sell that
so
to that license to, they can.
So when Iger said we'll honor the contract, he just meant we won't put it in Disney World.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Correct.
Good guy. What a good guy Iger is. I'll do what I'm supposed to. I'll do what I'm legally bound to do, folks. Oh, he's so nice. What a good boy.
Right.
Yeah.
So in 2014, Captain America, the Living Legend, and Symbol of Courage, another museum, was added to Innoventions. And then in 2015, it actually switched over to being Superhero HQ and added Vault featuring Spider-Man. These were all museum-style exhibits that also had some meet and greets. They started in Interventions, and then they stayed there when it became Superhero HQ. Superhero HQ only lasted, like, by that name for about a year in Tomorrowland.
Which, you know, is a good way to kind of dip your toe into, is this viable for our park? Because you can do a museum-style walkthrough nonsense really easily. You don't have to design a ride or anything like that, right? So it's a pretty good idea that someone gave Iger. I don't know. It's probably Chapek.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, here your boy's coming up. He's right here in the next.
He's got to be.
Next
He's
little
a hero.
part of this story.
The modern hero.
Jesus.
Internationally, in 2016, under the leadership of then chairman of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, Bob Chapek, Disney announced that part of Hong Kong Disney's Tomorrowland would be rethemed to Stark Expo and would eventually include a rethemed version of Buzz Blasters, which would become Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle in 2019. Also, the part that I apparently in my editing missed putting back in here was the first ride that they put in there was a Iron Man kind of Star Tours style attraction. So that was actually the very first. So that Hong Kong Iron Man experience in 2017 is when it opened, was the very first Marvel attraction in a Disney park. By ride. You know, when I say attraction, I mean ride.
Yeah.
So this clause, there was no international clause.
Correct. Yeah.
Outside of the U.S., it was free game.
Yep. 100%.
Kidnap International Clause? Sorry.
If you keep going west of the Mississippi, eventually you get back to Florida.
I know. I was like, what does that mean, west of the Mississippi?
In the United States territories. Right. You got to put and this deep, see, but you joke. This is the legalese stuff.
I know.
That there's a reason that it's written this way, because somebody has tried to get out of it. Like, well, keep going west. I mean, does that mean Hawaii? Also, I guess it does. Does that mean Japan? I don't know.
Gosh.
When does west become east? It's all arbitrary, guys. You know, direction is fluid.
So to finish out kind of our international appearances of Marvel, you have Paris's Second Gate Walt Disney Studios Park, which is kind of like their like DCA or Hollywood Studios. It rethemed its rock and roller coaster to the Avengers, called it Avengers Assemble Flight Force, and built its own version of Avengers Campus, which opened July 20th, 2022. Additionally, Disneyland Paris themed its Hotel New York to the Art of Marvel. It's really cool. I want to stay there at some point. It's got some really cool
really does look great.
I had no idea there was a Marvel hotel. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty rad, and it's not like over. It's definitely more themed, like you're walking into a hotel in New York that is doing a Marvel exhibition, rather than you're walking into like the Marvel universe, which I think is kind of cool. Over in Tokyo, Happy Ride with Baymax, which is based on the Marvel Pixar property Big Hero 6, opened September 28th, 2020.
Happy Ride.
I
That is
know.
the cutest. That is the most Japanese.
I love that.
That's so adorable. I can't help. Those people are just so cute in the way that they like market and the way that they market emotion. Mm-hmm. You know, because everything is like geared. It feels like a lot of the cute stuff, especially the imports that we get, has a lot of emotion behind the marketing and the directive, like right. So it's just, you might as well just be selling pure serotonin. Like, it's just adorable.
So you just taught me. I did not know that Big Hero 6 had any Marvel connection. I did not know that till just now.
That's actually why Stan Lee makes a cameo in the movie. He is, I forget the character's name, but he's the like sign spinning guy. He's his grandpa.
Okay.
Or his dad, I guess.
His dad, yeah.
I am looking forward to an Iron Man, I guess it's now Ironheart versus Baymax.
Why versus? Wouldn't they be on the same team?
I don't know, because Marvel likes to do weird stuff like that. They had Captain America and Iron Man going at each other for a while.
Nobody likes Captain America.
Nobody likes Captain America.
I don't like Captain America.
Nobody should.
Although
like Captain America.
I will say, as much as I love Iron Man, Captain America was right in that fight. Like
He sure was.
he was on the right side.
I don't know. Baymax would be just trying to hug everybody. Like, no, stop. This is inappropriate. No, but I can heal you. No, I don't want. No, listen to me, Baymax. You got to put that woman down, Baymax. I'm just trying to provide a health service. No, you got to stop it.
Are you satisfied with your butt whooping? So that ride is a whip style ride, kind of like Mater's in DCA. And then
the groan of dissatisfaction that I hear every day from my wife just was audible on the microphone.
Sorry.
Good morning, Taryn.
Oh, no.
I made you coffee.
That is not what I do. Stop. I'm not a morning person.
In August 2024, Disney announced that the last park that they have in their repertoire that has no Marvel representation, Shanghai, would get a Spider-Man roller coaster, which is currently under construction. So that's where we put it in the international parks. Now let's jump stateside.
Hang on, let's take a break.
Okay.
We'll take a break real fast. We'll come back. We'll learn about stateside, and then we'll do a little news, and then we're gone.
Cool.
Okay, hang on, everyone. It's Ears Up. We'll be right back.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
And now, back to the show that ignites your dream wish of imaginations and magical color wonderment of forever. Ears Up.
All right, thanks for sticking around, everybody. All right, Ryan, marvel us into the disaster zone. I don't know. Talk to us.
Yeah, let's talk about what happened with Marvel in the States. So Disney's version of Marvel attractions in the States would kick off in 2016 at San Diego Comic-Con, where they announced that Tower of Terror in Disney California Adventure would become Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which would open May 27th, 2017. This was the first ride based on a Marvel property in a U.S. park made by Disney. At D23 2017, Disney announced that Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout would be joined by Spider-Man and the Avengers in an area called Avengers Campus. Now, I can't remember what campus stands for, but fun fact, it is an acronym.
What?
Really?
It is. Yeah.
Come on.
See, why am I Googling things for you guys? Here, I'm going to do it right now. Jeez Louise. You know, you think you're ready with notes. Wait, where is it? Well, I want to come up. Open! There we go. Oh, good. I opened 100 tabs. Fart.
Well, I will. While Jason is looking up what campus means, I will mention that on March 11th, 2020, if that date rings a bell in anybody's brain, you're right to have that alarm bell going off. But
something happened to me that day.
That was Alice's birthday.
On March 11th, 2020, Marvel and Disney announced that they planned to open Avengers Campus on July 18th, 2020.
Well, that sucks for them.
Yeah, because later that day, the NBA would suspend its season, and that is largely the mark of the day that kind of everything started to kick into high gear as far as shutdowns and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, we would get to a point where Avengers Campus would open on June 4th, 2021, featuring one ride, web slingers, and lots of character interactions. On September 11th, 2022, at the D23 Expo, it was announced that an Avengers Multiverse ride was in development, which actually, fairly recently, broke ground and is quickly taking shape. It's actually, I was in the parks last weekend, and that building is going up super quick.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's like taking major shape. Additionally, at D23 2024, Disney announced the inclusion of a fourth ride in the land called Stark Flight Lab. And Robert Downey Jr. will be returning to voice Tony Stark for that attraction.
That's cool.
So I didn't dive too deep into the history of Avengers Campus, like the in-universe history, but in short, the idea is this is a separate universe where the snap never happened. That's why all the characters can be there.
Okay, that's interesting.
Some other universe.
I finally found it. It's not on any Disney site that I saw. It's not on the Wikipedia. It's not on the Disney Wiki. It's on the first link I got, which I'm using Bing, so forgive me, is tvtropes.org.
Huh.
Campus, the centralized assembly mobilized to prepare, unite, and safeguard.
There you go.
Wow.
I mean, that must be made of bubblegum because it's a stretch. Like,
yeah.
Come on, dude. Whatever.
It's sort of like Worldwide Engineering Brigade, which is what WEB stands for in Web Slingers.
But that's only 3 letters.
That's true.
That's almost clever.
So all of the development that I've talked about so far was great, right? It stayed clear of the licensing agreement. It was west of the Mississippi River, or it was international. Everything was great. So what do we do about Disney World?
Yeah.
Disney could not use Spider-Man or anything in his oeuvre, right? No Venom, no Green Goblin, no Spider-Gwen, nothing like that.
Right.
They couldn't use the Avengers. They couldn't use Fantastic Four. They couldn't use X-Men. All of that was out.
And was that contract or whatever, was that like in perpetuity? Like was there was no deadline to it?
It is in perpetuity. The only 3 outs they have are if Universal stops using the characters, which actually has been kind of rumored lately. There's been some talk of like, is Universal maybe going
Wicked
to
Land.
replace that land? Yeah, Wicked Land is frequently what's talked about there. Or Universal stops making payments. Or if Disney feels that, well, Marvel feels that Universal is misusing the characters. If they're mishandling the property, they can break the agreement.
Because as owners, they could probably have an out in their contract as well, right? So they could,
Right.
but they're being cool. Suppose that's what Iger was like. Oh, we're being a nice landlord and not, not defaulting you, but we're going to raise your rent 2% every year.
And I will say they do maybe have cause to say it's mishandled because that land in Universal is definitely, it's stuck in the 90s. It has not been updated since 1999, and it kind of shows.
Damn.
Costumes still look good, though.
They do.
Yeah.
So what's Disney to do? Well, lucky for them, the kind of cool thing is sometimes new characters or new families of characters come to prominence. Just so happens that they had produced some Guardians of the Galaxy movies that were really popular, and those comic books, there is no way Universal in 1999 could have expected that the Guardians would have been anything.
Yeah.
James Gunn was about their only fan, and that's why we have those movies. So successful movies means at D23 2017, Disney announced that they would begin development on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which would come to Epcot and replace the Energy Pavilion and open on May 27th, 2022. This coaster has a lot of firsts for Disney. It was Epcot's first roller coaster.
Oh.
It was Disney's first reverse launch coaster, so you're actually sitting backwards when you get launched.
Oh my God.
And it was Epcot's first interstellar pavilion.
Good.
All right.
I mean,
Well,
I guess Horizons was just in space.
I remember that being like part of their marketing push, that it was Xandar Pavilion, like the Germany Pavilion. It was just a different planet instead of a different country.
They do have cool stuff to look at in the queue.
They do.
It's very cool. And
it's a really cool roller coaster. It's basically, I will say, it's like the spiritual successor to Space Mountain. It's very similar to Space Mountain. You're in the dark and you see like projections and stuff, and you get kind of, the cool thing with the ride technology is the cars actually turn. So you get kind of turned to look at things, and it's really neat. I really love it.
cool.
So one last mention, because the high seas are the high seas. They are separate from this agreement. And Marvel and Disney Cruise Line have worked together for quite some time. Marvel Day at Sea sailings started in 2017. They are special sailings that include a day at sea with special events, special menus in the restaurants, and extra character meet and greets. When the Disney Wish launched in 2022, it included Worlds of Marvel as one of its 3 rotational restaurants. That restaurant would be replicated on the Treasure, and upcoming will be replicated on the Disney Destiny, which sets sail later this year. The Disney Destiny, which sets sail later this year, will also feature Spider-Man on the aft, a statue of Black Panther in its atrium, and a Doctor Strange-themed bar.
Doctor Strange themed bar. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's so in the spot on the Wish, it's a Tiana bar. On the Treasure, it's a Jungle Cruise bar, and on the Destiny, it's a Doctor Strange bar, all in the same spot.
That's cool.
And then most DCL ships also feature Marvel-themed kids areas, and the ones on the Wish, Treasure, and probably the Destiny tie actually directly back into Avengers Campus. So they're like, they make reference to what's going on in California and Paris. So to wrap up, from Universal's ironclad 1994 deal to Disney's creative workarounds on the West Coast, overseas, and at sea, Marvel's history with the theme parks is a great tale of licensing battles, clever loopholes, and some truly wild experiments. Today, fans can sling webs in California, blast Hydra in Hong Kong, ride coasters in Epcot, or even eat dinner with Ant-Man at sea. But will you ever see Spider-Man and the Hulk in Florida at Disney World? Probably not.
Yay! Good job,
All right.
Thanks.
I honestly didn't know that there was that much history to the whole thing. So it's kind of cool.
I had always heard about the licensing agreement with Universal, and getting into this, I was really interested, like the Marvel name exclusivity and stuff. That part really interested me, and just the way it's shaped what they've developed is really cool.
Yeah, cool.
Hang on, I'm looking for this thing real fast.
It is kind of fun just going through. I mean, Universal stuff is still holds up. I mean, as much as a teacup ride can hold up and a drop ride can hold up, Spider-Man is still a good ride.
It is. It is that classic Universal like track taking you through screens is a good system that has produced some pretty fun rides.
And it's not as blurry as Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the same exact ride across the park. I don't like Transformers. Spider-Man is good. I avoided it for a long time because I'm like, it's the enemy. But I'm like, this is actually kind of fun. And the queue is even fun. they've got a lot of
ride vehicle called something funny on that, isn't it? Like
Scoop, which is
Scoop,
also an
that's
acronym that I don't know.
Of course everything is, man. I mean, come on now.
Let's see. Spider-Man.
Yeah, not Spitterman.
Not
Show
Philip
everyone my
Spiderman. Oh, I'm glad other people know stupid things like that.
Oh.
Are you looking something up, Eric? Or am I?
Yeah. I might have found it. Okay. Modified scoop system. No, nobody's laying out the
acronym.
The acronym, yeah.
All right. Well, you let me know.
It's all in caps.
March in the past, present, and future with all the news that's fit to cover. It's the Ears Up Disney News.
Okay. Couple things real fast. We talked about the no early hour magic morning anymore, right? Okay, we did.
Yeah, I think. I know you and I talked about it, but I think we did talk.
I think we talked about it
here
on the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two things I want to mention. One, so we talked about, I can't remember when, that new bar in Disney World, the Beak and Barrel, that's like themed to pirates. That's open, and apparently it's opening additional reservations for previously booked dates. So it sounds like they're opening things up more and more. But I posted a video of someone's experience in the Discord channel from a TikTok. It's like dinner theater. It's like the Enchanted Tiki Room, not Enchanted Tiki Room. It's Trader Sam's on methamphetamines. It's insane. I would love to go there because it looks great. But like the people can run around and like scream at you and hold on to your table like, we're going down. And I'm like, I don't want any of this.
So it's like dinner theater, but like.
Yeah.
But bar style?
That's what it looks like to me. Now, it could just be like a once in a while thing. I don't know what triggers it. Maybe it's a drink order. I have no idea. But even if it's once in a while, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't want that. But it
it's
looks
probably
fantastic.
like Oga's where like there's a timer and every 15 minutes they do something goofy.
They do that? We've been at Oga's a couple times. I've never seen anything goofy going on.
Have you never had like the power go out at Oga's or anything like that?
No.
Oh,
I've
been there
fine.
when that happens. Yeah.
That's ambiance. That's fine. If you come to my table and hold on to it like we're sinking on a ship and you start screaming into my face,
yeah, I don't want that.
I'm gonna not enjoy that.
It makes me uncomfortable. It's like the characters on the main street of DCA.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to interact with them. Like I don't know who you are. You're not Mickey. Like you're freaking me out. You're just like a weird looking person that's like got newspapers. Like I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Oga's, by the way, I don't know that you're going to do a story on this, but they removed reservations on Disneyland's Oga's. When I was there last weekend, the line was all the way back to the first order area.
Oh no!
Oh, gosh,
gross, dude.
But the reservations worked so great. Like
yeah,
they did.
Like every other
Why
restaurant.
would they get rid of them?
Who knows, dude? It's probably too much. I know. Well, here, that'll kind of lead us into this next story. This is the last story where I think it's there's going to be a lot of cost cutting coming along. I think what I understand, the new CEO is a little bit after chopping the budget a little bit because moving forward, September hours usually change from summer to fall hours where things close a little bit earlier. But this year, Disneyland is closing at 11 p.m., DCA at 9 p.m. Now, last year at this time, Disneyland was closing at midnight and DCA was closing at 10. So they've cut back the hours even more so. So for winter hours, DCA is open until 9 p.m. Disneyland 11. That's it. That's what's happening.
I
Disney
echo.
World times.
Who was it in the Discord, Ryan, who said, "What is this, Disney World?"
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think that might have been Marie.
It probably was.
Someone, this is on Reddit. Like I was trying to look up news articles about it, but nobody has written anything that I could find because Bing is weird. This person's like, last year Disneyland was open until midnight. DCA was open until 10, almost every day in September and October. And, you know, you can go to the thrilldata.com or whatever, which is for some reason people use up bandwidth to track this weird stuff.
Somebody's got to.
Yeah. But yeah, you can go back and look, and it's just the hours are different, and I don't understand why. And it does very much sound like a cost-cutting measure, because the amount of people that are in DCA between 9 and 10, or rather 10 and 11, because, well, wait, when park closes is okay, refresh my memory. Park closed doesn't mean gates are closed. It means rides are closed and you have an hour to get the heck out, right? Is that how that works? Yeah. So the people who are after, you know, who are in DCA in between that lull of shutting down the rides and then leaving, they're not buying much. They're probably not making as much money. And so they go, okay, we can cut staff for that hour, that chunk, close early and get out of here and save a bunch of money.
Well, and it's a ton of money. I was listening to a analysis on the early entry change, right? And that's smaller scale, right? Because it's not as many rides and everything. But they would need to see, I think it was 15% drop in hotel rooms to lose money on making that change. Which is like 70, I want to say it was like $70 million a year or something. Or no, I don't remember the exact number. But it was a crazy high number on how much they spend for early entry. And that's 30 minutes, right? And so how do they know? How do these people know that? Like, how do you get that information? you know what the base pay rate is. You multiply that by
it's fuzzy
how
math. You're guessing.
Yeah.
Nobody knows
there's
that.
Definitely
Okay.
guesstimate. Yeah.
All right.
But you can do some pretty. I mean, it is still fuzzy because it has to be at estimates, but it can be a pretty good idea of what it is. I was just doing some quick math just to see what it might be. Like, if you know how many employees there are working during that time, or if you can guess. Like,
Well, right. The way I guess, okay, just to be apply the Socratic method. Okay. Yeah, not all the rides are open, so you don't have a full staff, right?
No.
So how many people do you have to staff each individual ride? Like, that's a lot of knowledge that would be really impossible to like factually check.
Well, if you've ever worked at Disney, anybody who's worked one of those shifts would have an idea of about how many people are working at that time.
And at least like not. It's not saying that it's like I think it's more directionally correct, where like you're like, okay, cool, yeah, 10% would be a big drop off, and if they aren't losing 10%, they're making money.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think they that's why they lowered it from an hour to half an hour to see what the impact would be, and it was probably minimal. So then they get rid of it, but they give you a lightning lane, which is objectively a better thing. So they're not going to lose anybody because it's a better thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying like whoever you're saying was like wrong.
For sure.
I wasn't directing that comment at that. I was just saying Disney knows what they're doing. Anytime they make a change to anything, there's so much consumer data backed behind that. They spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year doing customer research. I would guess. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine.
Yeah,
So
and I'm guessing
they know
this
what's going on.
this hour that they're cutting off the end is staffing, and it's condensing, right? It's condensing the crowds. They want some higher waits. They feel like maybe their waits are not long enough in some places, and so they.
Well, I think if they felt that, they would, I don't know. That's interesting, I guess.
Yeah,
because you don't want people waiting in line. You want people milling around to shop.
Right,
so it's
but
kind
you
of
want
counter
them to,
to
buy
what
Genie Plus. You want them to buy Lightning Lane,
right?
And they're not going to buy Lightning Lane if the lines
they can just get
are
in
low
line.
enough.
Right. Yeah, you've got to have that pressure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I think it was Marie said. It smells like they're going to start selling early and late acts as a premium.
Oh my God! If that happens, Marie's a genius. That is a genius idea to do. But you know what? Because there's nothing that this company has done to counter the villainous accusations that people have been throwing, especially on this show, like me, at this company forever, is all they're trying to do is just squeeze that blood out of the stone, man. That's all they're trying to do. And they're auto-inflating this kind of class divide, this caste system that we have in this country by I don't know, 10x. It's already wildly expensive to go to the parks. Middle class is mostly priced out, and lower class can't go, maybe once like every couple years, the park for families. Now you're talking, I mean, the hotels around there are super expensive. Now you want to sell these premium, mornings and evening times. It's just going to be wealthy, upper middle class people or people who go into debt to go and have fun. And I don't know. So I guess what I'm saying is I would imagine there'd be a lot of cultural pushback online about that.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing is going to change because people still go anyway. If anything was going to change based on consumer outrage, it would have changed a long time ago when they got rid of the fast pass. You know what I mean? So people are still going to go. We're still going to be mad about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we sure they're not already selling it? Because we've got people. I mean, the promo was stay at a premium Disneyland hotel, because all three are pretty luxe.
Yeah,
but you're saying
but now we're saying people are selling the extra hours.
Right. Yeah, because you have to stay at a hotel. Well, no, because there are no extra hours. You get Lightning Lane now.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying before we got used to it, now are they going to bring it back and say, well, they're still staying at the Disneyland Hotel for the same price, or the Grand Californian for the same price, or the Pixar Pier for the same price. So now we add in another feature.
Oh, you're saying like that?
Build it into
yeah. Give it some time to cool, and then go, oh wait, they're still paying. I mean, there's some people that are like, I rarely rope drop. I rope drop when I'm with other people. When I'm with my wife, we don't rope drop. We're not rope droppers. We show up when we're awake.
That's what I don't understand is you especially the early access folks, right? Like you're staying at the hotels like us. We never use early access hardly. I mean, because it's too hard with the kid, and who wants to do that? So you're basically subsidizing the people who want to be early access or want to be rope drop or early magic morning rather. Mm-hmm. You're subsidizing those based on the people who aren't going. Because the prices, because it's all wrapped in the price of the hotel anyway, like all the staffing, all that kind of stuff. Disney is never going to set a price and not include labor and energy and, cost of goods. That's all wrapped up into it, right? That's why the hotels are so expensive. But you're cutting this thing and then you're still getting a premium price at the Disneyland Hotel. And then now you get a Lightning. I don't know. It's just a weird shuffle of prices. And I don't know. I think the change is good. The hour thing does bother me because I love staying at Disneyland late at night.
Yeah.
But, 11 o'clock, hey, man, maybe that is enough.
I think that's late enough. I mean, especially at our age. I'm like, that's fine. I'll be in bed by then anyway.
And like at that point, you can probably make it back to the hotel for a beer or a drink at the bar or whatever. And maybe
what's that going to do with downtown Disney? What's downtown Disney going to be? I mean, I would imagine all those places are going to shutter a little bit early too. But then
or they stay open,
or they
stay open. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
because that's the culture in like Disney World is all the bars around the parks stay open after the parks close.
They still close awfully early.
It kind of makes sense.
What if that's the move? Is to drive more people to downtown Disney because Disney owns a stake in all those companies.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
that's why they're
Disney,
in there.
So.
Yeah. To go funnel them through the world of, you want to buy stuff, go to the world of Disney and buy all the stuff you want there, dude. But the parks need to, who knows? It could also be a thing because they're doing more work to get ready, doing the Disney and Forward stuff. Or I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
They're filming the Oswald series for the next 2 months after hours.
I don't know. Yeah. They didn't close down. They didn't close down the parks when they were doing during the day. So I don't know. But anyway, that's what's happening. So if you're planning on going in the fall, I don't know when these hours extend to, but if you're planning on being in the parks until midnight, guess what? Not anymore. Unless you're buying stuff, I guess. I don't know. That's it. That's what's happening, folks. Before we leave, though, I want to remind you to go to the 21st Amendment. You can go to 21A. If you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, you can go to their spot in San Francisco or the spot in San Leandro and grab some really fantastic beer. And actually, anybody listening live, and if you're in the Bay Area, we're going to be doing a little tiny meet-up and hang sesh with Mr. P and maybe some friends of mine, I don't know, at the 21A in San Leandro on Saturday at noon, I believe, right, Taryn, is when they open?
I think, I think usually it's noon.
So we're going to be hitting
whenever
that up.
They open.
What's that?
I said whenever they open.
Yeah, it's noon. So we're going to be hanging out there for a couple hours and, relaxing in the sunshine. So come and join. Everyone's invited and hang out. It's a good time, some good beers. And if you're not in the area and you're not in California, but you do like to drink craft beer, ask your local craft beer purveyor, supplier, purchaser for 21st Amendment. They have a bunch of beers that are lined up, and it's a fantastic company. It's run by a nice old man called Sean.
He's not that old.
He's super old.
He's great.
He's giant. He's super
not old. Shut up. Oh, my God.
Whatever, dude.
He's like a couple years older than you, maybe.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Are you kidding me?
I mean, I know.
Do you think that Sean and I look the same age? No offense to Sean, 'cause he's a very handsome man. Do you think I look as old as Sean?
No, I'm just saying.
Do you think?
I think he's less than 10 years older than you. Isn't he? Am I
Wow,
wrong?
That may be true.
I think he is.
Having met both of you in person once.
That's not a dig against you.
Yes, it is. Because I think Sean looks 20 years older than me.
You do?
Yes.
He doesn't.
And you're saying I look in my 60s.
I'm not.
Isn't Sean in his 60s?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I gotta look. I can't wait for him
He's
to hear
going to be
this.
so mad when he hears this. He's never going to talk to you again.
Okay, well, Sully, look, man, no offense. None, no offense. But he's an older gentleman, and I'm a spry 35.
You're not 35.
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening to the show.
You haven't been 35 in a while.
I really do appreciate it. Taryn is fired, so if anybody wants to apply for a job at the EarzUp Podcast Network, and by job, I mean internship, and by internship, I mean work for free. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody.
He'll join.
I am literally 35 as of a week ago, so.
See, there you go.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you in the parks.